Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today I have another update for the Expand Those Pans project that was created by Dora. She is on YouTube here as Fuchsia Soul and I have her linked down below, so do go check her out if you want to. She created this project and it is, as the name suggests, you work on eyeshadows that you already have a pan on and you try to grow that pan by using it an X amount of times. I'm doing 3 shadows that I want to use 5 times each, and then 1 shadow that is more of a lid setting shade that I want to use 10 times each. I randomize my shadows. If I happen to randomize a cream color shadow that I can set my base with, I work on that. If I don't randomize that, I pick one, and that is how it's been going. I try to film these updates when I'm ready to roll everything out. That way it's interesting for you guys, but it's also interesting for me. And that is also why I'm doing not as many uses, just to kind of keep the momentum going. I have noticed, however, that even with this amount of uses, pans do tend to expand quite a bit, so it's exciting to see the progress. I actually have the photos of last time when I rolled all of these shadows in pulled up next to me on my laptop, just so I can see myself how much the pan has expanded, because I've had, I think last update or the update before that, I was talking about shadows and I was saying like I don't think the pan expanded, and I was editing them, putting the side by sides up, and I was like, that pan definitely did expand. So just to not have that anymore, I put up the photos for myself to also check. Should have done that with every update, but here we are. I still learn every day as well. So we're gonna look at my shadows and see how much the pans have expanded. So let's start with our lid setting shade. It is the same one I've been working on for a while, and it is a Zoeva shadow. I have depotted all of my Zoeva shadows from 3 palettes, so I call them my singles. Did not buy them as singles, but they are now singles. And I've been working on the shade called Travel Inspired, and this is what mine is looking like currently. So I'll put a photo up of what it looked like before. Yeah, this pan has expanded, but also the dip around this pan has really been starting to grow. So I'm excited to see if maybe I'll be able to finish this shadow at one point. This year I already finished 2 Zoeva singles and then 1 Beauty Bay shadow. So I think finishing this one, I mean, I don't know if I can do it this year still, but I can definitely finish it at one point. Then I rolled in shade number 11 from my Scooby-Doo Glam Light palette. Love this packaging so much. It is such a big bulky palette, so it's not one that is easy to use, honestly, but I just love this palette so much. It's so cute. And shade number 11 is this one right here, a purple shimmer. So this pan, oh my gosh, that grew quite a bit. So I've done a couple of looks where I really mainly had purple. I did find that this stained my lids, so I wasn't really wearing it as a lower lash line color, because I would like have a reddish line still on my eyes after wearing this, but it paired really nicely with more like grungy darker gray shadows, and then topping this over it to give it that purple shimmery reflect. Really enjoyed that. If I have a photo of a look that I used that with, I will put it up. I don't think, yeah, I think I have a photo of the purple look that I did, and I used my Glam Light Lord of the Rings palette as well. So I had some like light purple bluey in my inner part, and then this on like the middle of my lid. I'll put it up if I have it. I'm pretty sure I filmed a video where I wore that look. So I got my 5 uses on that shadow. And the cream colored matte, I don't know if I mentioned, but I got my 10 uses on that easily. I think I'm at 15 or 20 at the moment. I stopped keeping track of my uses after the 10, but I just use it every day, so there's that. Then I have another single that came from a palette. This is from the ColourPop, the Child palette. That is the like Star Wars one. And this is the shade Float Your Crib. Okay. The shade is Float Your Crib, and it is this dark army green matte shadow. Okay, it doesn't want to do closer than this, but here it is. This is what it looks like right now. I've expanded the pan kind of like that way up. Yeah, I can see a little bit of expansion. I've used this mostly in my outer corner. I do like this shade. I do like these types of shades, especially this time of year, to do like a dark grungy greeny look, and I do like it more than like a bright green. I don't know, the pan didn't grow as much, but it's okay. I'm happy with the expansion that we got anyway, and 5 uses is more than 0 uses, so there's that. And then the last shadow I was working on comes from my Beauty Bay Earthy palette, and it was the shade Trance, and that is this shadow right here. This is a very light green, and I don't know if you can really see an expansion. Again, maybe like the tiniest bit. But I use this a lot in my crease, so with a fluffy brush, barely visible, I think, the expansion. But again, I got 5 uses out of it. Happy. Excuse me. That was a hiccup. I'm happy that I did get my 5 uses out of it. So that is done, completed. Okay, and then I decided to roll my shadows before filming this actually, because then I could try and use them to make a look. I was gonna film it, but it didn't quite work out the way I thought it was gonna work out. So I just decided to do the look, come on here. So I will insert the clip of me randomizing the shadows. The first shadow that I randomized was the shade ColourPop Dear Diary, and Dear Diary comes from the ColourPop Lizzie McGuire palette, and I have it right here. This is what it looks like. So it is a sort of golden green, if you will. Tiny pan. I did use it today for the first time. I have it on like the inner third half of my lid. I like these types of shades a lot. I really, really do. There's one in the Beauty Bay Earthy palette. This one is a little bit darker, but these types of green, really, really enjoy those. So doing 5 uses on that, well, 4 more, because today counts as well as a use, will be no problem at all. And I will show you swatches at the end, by the way. Then I rolled Glam Shop Mineral, but we worked on that a while back, so we're not going to do that. And then I also rolled ColourPop Lap of Luxe, but that was in 2 rounds ago, so I skipped those as well. Then the next one was Beauty Bay Earthy Apple. So we're back at the Earthy palette. It's staying in this project. And Apple is the slightly darker matte green. So there is that. Again, kind of similar size pan as Trans has. I don't know if I'll grow it as much because again, I will probably use it mostly as a transition shade or like a crease color. I don't know. Today I put it on my lid, like all over my lid, as sort of a base for the rest of my greens. Might do that too as well, a little bit more, and also have it on my lower lash line a little bit. But that is the second shade. Then I rolled ColourPop It's Paradise, but that's in my Pan That palette. And then the last one I rolled was ColourPop Twilight Ice Cold. I mean, I had to check the footage because not really sure what order I rolled them in, and also I wanted to clarify that I rolled more shadows, but why we're not working on those. But okay, the last one rolling in is ColourPop Twilight Ice Cold, and that is right here. So this is a very easy inner corner highlight shade, exactly the way I used it today. So we're gonna do 4 more uses on this and then see how much the pan will expand. So we have quite a green color story, but that's okay. So today, actually, what I also put on my eyes is the Glamlight Lord of the Rings palette, because I have quite a bit of a darker green in my outer corner. Those are 2 shadows from the Lord of the Rings palette. Let me just show you. I have this matte green in my outer corner, and then this shimmery green topped on top of that, and then this ever so slightly to blend it all out. I feel like I put that apple shadow, the apple shadow from the Beauty Bay palette. I put that all over the lid, and I put the shimmer over top, like the inner part. And I was like, this could work, but I felt like the look was a little bit flat, if that makes any sense. So I decided to deepen it up with the greens from Glamlight. Anyway, here is my color story for this month, or however many weeks it takes me to hit my uses. So here we have the ColourPop Dear Diary shadow, Beauty Bay Apple, and then this ColourPop Ice Cold. So very easy color story. Honestly, I could do just green looks 4 times and be done. Like I said, I did this look, so I'm counting the use on the shadows of today as well. So 4 more uses, and then I'll come back with an update. And then also, of course, 10 uses on the cream colored matte shadow. That will be easy enough. I didn't swatch that one either because you can barely see it on my hands. Okay, that was long enough. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in one of my next videos. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.